Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video today. Rizardon here. Today guys, I'm going to be showing you my fire conjurer build and every weapon that I use as a fire conjurer. So I hope you guys enjoy this video today, and yeah. Alright guys, so for the weapons I use as a conjurer right now, I'm using the strong greatsword, the tempered siren bow, and the Commodore Kai's strong saber. Now, I originally put tempered on all three of my weapons, but because tempered decreases skill size, and skill size is super important for the greatsword and the Kai saber, I decided to just put strong enchantments on them, and it decreases the damage by a little bit, but not by much, especially if I have like powerful scrolls on every piece, or on almost every piece of my armor. It's not going to do that much of a difference. So as you saw there, I still do a ton of damage with the strong greatsword. I did like 140 for 3 bursts, I believe. And then for Commodore Kai's saber, it's also really good, and you don't really want to decrease the skill size for the E ability. You want it to be as big as possible, just so you don't miss. Usually enemies will they'll tee up in the air, and if your skill size is super small, it's not gonna hit them. Or if they're on the ground, it's more important when they're on the ground actually, because you won't be able to hit them if your skill size is like minimal. Like it'll be way smaller than this actually, if it is tempered. So the Q is also affected by it, so yeah, that big AoE is gonna be like decreased by a ton. As a conjurer, I don't really use my magic too much, especially like fire, it's kind of slow already, so I don't really rely on the Q that much. I usually just go for the R, which is my AoE ability. As you saw there, it's okay in combat. It's really good if you like combo with your Q for the greatsword. Like if you do that and then you R, only if they're like close to you, I guess. But yeah, so the main abilities that you want to focus on if you're using these 3 weapons is the E, which is the Mountain Wind. This ability is actually crazy good because it does a huge amount of damage. Now, let me just show you when I go to these NPCs over here. Oh yeah, and the bow's really good. As you saw from my other video, I do like insane damage with it. So look, uncharged, I do 131. If all 3 of those hit, it would have done over 300 damage. And then the cooldown is super short as well. Not to mention the Q, the AoE is humongous on it. So 143, one of those killed her. So if all 3 of those hit, especially if you charge her for a little bit, it's so good. See there, like I held her for like 2 seconds and it did 159. I'm pretty sure I can one-shot Iris with it, but yeah. Some of the other weapons that you can use with Fire Conjurer, or just Conjure in general, is the Poison Tooth Dagger is pretty good. In PvP it's not so good because the enemies, like, they're gonna be moving around, so it'll be hard to use. Vindicator is good because it's got like huge AoE. Skull Tooth Dagger, same as the Poison Tooth, not so good. This weapon, you can change it with the Commodore Kai saber. These 2 are basically the same, except this one does 2 E's instead of 1. I can show you right now. It's the ability that makes you teleport is basically the same, but this one, yeah, it's like 2 slashes. I believe this one just covers more distance, but yeah, the only thing that's different are the 2 Qs. You send out 2 instead of 1. The Commodore Kai saber's Q is actually faster, so whichever you prefer, I guess, like whether you want 1 or 2 or faster projectile. I prefer Commodore Kai saber because it looks better and the E goes faster. So yeah, and also the other weapons you can use are the Ravenna Great Axe is actually really good right now. The Cultist Staff is also pretty good. What else? Oh, Silent Blades are pretty good because the ability just goes in a huge AoE. The guns are not so good right now, they got nerfed. they have like a huge 7.5 second cooldown. But oh, also the sword is really good. Let me try to find it. I believe it's the basic like Ravenna sword. I don't know if I have the weapon on this account, but yeah, you can use like the old swords. Yeah, the Ravenna sword. Let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, so it's got the new ability, Flaming Flying Phoenix, which is like the Colossal Cutlass move, but it doesn't do AoE. Let me show you here. It does like one single... Look at that, 172 twice. And she's low already. As for the other move is actually better, I believe. So this is the Flaming Tiger Rush. It's like a melee, one of those like rushing type abilities. I don't really use this move a lot. But the move I do use is the Q. The Q is really good because you can move with it. Let me show you guys right here. So look, you can move with it, you can charge it while moving, and then you can just AoE with it. 316 damage. It's really good. Oh yeah, and if you use it in the air, you'll be frozen, but yeah, the cooldown is insane with it. Look at that. Yeah, so that's like one of the reasons why everyone uses this, the sword, is because you can move with the Q and just run up to them. And just charge it up while you're running up. And it just does humongous amounts of damage. But okay, next is my stats, guys. Let me show you what I use for Conjurer. So I use 100 magic, and I use 150 weapon. I use 150 weapon so that I can use some of the abilities for my weapons. Sadly, I can't use it for my Siren Bow, but that's okay. For example, like for the Greatsword, if I didn't have 150, I wouldn't be able to use Mountain Wind. And Mountain Wind is probably the best move for Greatsword right now. And also for the basic Ravenna sword, or the sword in general, I wouldn't be able to use Flying Phoenix. Which, for some, it's okay because it's hard to aim with it. But, yeah, it's really fast, so it might be good for some of you. And the Q, basically the Q is like all you need, honestly. If you have more magic, I believe it gives you more, energy. And more, maybe magic damage. Actually, maybe not magic damage. But, yeah. That's basically it for my Fire Conjurer build, guys. It's honestly super basic. This is like, I guess the go-to type of weapons or build that Conjurers go for. Like I said before, the stats, you can interchange them. 150 magic or 100 weapon, 150 weapon, or 100 magic. It's totally up to you. The only thing it'll change is like using some basic weapon abilities, and also the the armor. Let me show you the armor. I showed you guys in the last video, but I'll show you guys again. So I like to go for like a balanced build, 150 power, 156, and then I put perfect candeliers on them for extra power, attack speed, and energy regeneration. And then defense, I try to get like at least 1,500 defense, or HP. But yeah, I mean, it works for me. It's pretty good. The attack speed is really good for my projectile abilities. So yeah, that's basically it for guys for my Fire Conjurer build. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.